You're listening to the Farmyard Podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Farmyard. It's a movement, have you heard? And our Patreon supporters.
Episode 48, From Plot to Plate, with host Linda Borghi and guest Diana Pieri.
Hello, everyone. Linda Borghi here from Farmyard. You are just one seed away. You know, a lot of people ask me, I'm one seed away from what? And my answer is always immediately everything, because that's really how I feel. Now, you know, I've used so much of the information that I've given to you. A lot of that information came from my grandmother. I call that ancient wisdom. You know, like using baking soda. If you have your belly's upset a little bit, just the tip of the spoon and a little bit of warm water and drink that down. That'll settle it up. Or taking a bath in Epsom salts in order to get your calcium and your magnesium through your skin, as your body will not take more than it needs, right? So why am I talking about ancient wisdom and my grandmother? I'll tell you why. Because we have a guest on today that we had on once before, episode 9, and that episode did soar to the top episode at the time. It really did. And what was that about? That was about her having a health issue and really wanting to change that health issue through what she was eating. So you know what she did? I'm gonna let her tell you what she did. She'll review that episode, but she's gonna take us down a lane of plot to plate. She is gonna teach us and tell us exactly how she restored her health and how each and every one of these listeners can do the very same. So without any further ado, let me introduce Diana Pieri. Diana, you there?
I am here.
Oh, so good to have you again, honey.
It's exciting. It's amazing to me that after our episode 9, I didn't know what else I could contribute when you asked me to re-interview in a few months or what have you. I thought, well, what else do I have to say? So much has happened.
Oh,
so much has happened. So now we know how to grow things.
Yeah.
And we, let me tell you, it comes in bucketfuls into my house. We had to buy a side-by-side commercial refrigerator that I told my husband it has to be big enough to hold a bus van, because that's how much vegetables are coming at me. And then I had to start, consuming and feeding my family more and more and more, because it's so plentiful. And I share with my friends and I share with my neighbors for free. I'm not really interested in $1.49 for a pint of tomatoes right now, because It is a residential lot. I don't really want to press any buttons with the commercial use, but we freely give it away, and I'm happy to do it. Now, my new endeavor is, okay, so if I'm trying to maintain some weight loss and further my weight loss, I'm down 35 pounds. Thank you. Yay.
You look wonderful, honey. It's not even so much the loss of your weight, but you're glowing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Vibrant and vivacious and bouncy. That's how I feel. And I'm 53. And I'll tell you this, when I had my health scare in 2015, I was 5 feet tall, 5'2", I should say, and 202 pounds. And I thought I was all right. But, that's not all right. Not for me. It wasn't all right for me. And I was just eating all the wrong things. And so what I have come to understand is when I self-sabotage or I get in a problem area in my diet, it's because I'm looking for crunchy. Okay. So if you're on a diet, chicken breast and steamed broccoli, there's no crunchy in your life.
There isn't.
And that's what creates a downfall for people. So
yes,
I saw something online and it got my wheels turning. And basically what it is, well, you can take the veggie pulp from your juicing and make like a bread almost. and crackers. And then I took it one step further and literally made chips, crunchy, yummy chips from literally carrots, celery, tomatoes, chia, and flax. That's what's in it. And like maybe some Mrs. Dash for seasoning. I try to do it very low salt or no sodium. And you have that with pimento cheese. You can have it with guacamole, hummus, any kind. There's several different chicken salad. There's several different dips. But
now, I want to interrupt you for one moment. I want the listeners to be aware that chia or chia seed is 3 times the calcium of milk. There you go.
Also, omega-3s.
Yeah.
And they, to give you an example, when I hydrate them for the recipe, so I pre-hydrate them overnight for the recipe, they absorb, chia looks like poppy seeds, okay? So a half a cup of chia will take 5 cups of water to absorb, and then it's a very, very thick consistency. So it will take more than 10 times its volume. What that means to you and me from a health standpoint is when I eat these chips, actually I did a side-by-side comparison when I was making them one day. The finished version is 2 ounces for a serving. That's 40 or 50 chips. The weight of that volume before I dehydrate it is 4 cups of batter, if you will, or liquid. So can you imagine eating 4 cups worth of 32 ounces of food? You're like, I'm pretty stuffed. So what happens is you eat this 2 ounces or what have you, and it rehydrates and fills up your tummy with, the chia rehydrates. And I literally say, I'm not even hungry for supper because I'm totally satisfied. And it's not like you filled up on rice cakes or some fake food, right? You're actually literally eating the most highly densely nutritious food you could possibly eat. Here's a trick. I dehydrate at 115. So it's literally still considered raw vegan. And I'm not even vegan, but I love it. I love to
Now, go back because I even had to think about that. The step was you dehydrate. So you dehydrate these chips at 115 degrees.
So in the vegan world, anything heated in excess of 118 is dead. The enzymes are no longer vibrant, live, or whatever. So anything under 118, and that's why I go 115, just to give myself a little insurance. The enzymes are still alive. And
you're brilliant, Missy. You're brilliant.
Isn't that fantastic?
It's brilliant.
I love it. So last night I did, you might want to sit down. I don't know if you're sitting down.
I am sitting down.
I went into my backyard and I pulled the dinosaur kale that was ready to get pulled out. I said, let me collect it. I brought it in and washed it, put it in the blender, made flax and chia with that and some pico de gallo for, some variable tastes. And I dehydrated that within 10 minutes of picking it. And made tostadas.
Oh, my God.
I know. I'm so excited about those tostadas.
Now, listen. You got to tell them about the wraps.
All right. So let's talk about the wraps.
Please.
I started in episode 9. You'll catch where I was really driving down to Costco and Sam's in Myrtle Beach. And my thing is always, when I'm finished with that and I'm exhausted, I'm on the way home, my treat or my lunch was Chick-fil-A #1 combo extra pickle or large Diet Coke, right? And I looked forward to it and I would eat it and I would immediately feel remorse. Like, why did I do that? Like, I do that every time. Why do I keep doing that? Well, that was normal food. They advertise it on TV. They say it's normal. Why is it not normal for me? Why am I having a problem with whatever they say is normal? What am I supposed to eat? Okay. So I said to myself, I need something that is not bread that I can make a sandwich with, that is not some paleo thing in a package in a store with a brand on it. I don't want that. I was in the garden that afternoon and the collard leaves were gigantic, tortilla shaped, And I thought, you know what? I have this in a salad. I eat it raw all the time. I'm gonna make sandwiches with these collard greens. And it was like the
an epiphany.
And so now I have made, I make them for my friends. Everybody loves them. It's so unique and different. And it's almost like you got to create food that has not existed, does not exist. You've never seen an advertisement for it. And it's just the weirdest thing. But it is great. And you feel great. And you don't feel heavy and weighed down or digestive issues. And you don't feel remorse. That's the biggest thing,
Right.
So my next sandwich, anybody can do it. Go down to the grocery store or go in your front yard and pull dinosaur kale, lacinato kale. Kale. It's the long, slender, dark kale. You just take a potato peeler or a knife and take out the stem a little bit, shave that down so it's flexible. Fill it up with hummus, avocado, sprouts, red bell pepper, shredded chicken if you want, and roll it up. And it is amazing how wonderful it is. Really amazing. I use a Thai peanut sauce to dip. I'm a rock star with that. Okay. It's everybody loves it. I do so many salads. I used to think, I don't want to eat a salad for lunch. I want a burger. And, I think that's your gut microbes, the bad guys outweighing the good guys that are leaning you towards the foods that are no good for you. So once you upset that balance of bad microbes in your gut and feed the good guys all this, they like the fiber, in the veg, you start really wanting the good stuff. So I love a salad. I make a myriad of salads. Juicing. I use the pulp in my crackers, which is so much
amazing. Fun. It's amazing. Now you are now even selling the wraps at your pizzeria. Is that correct?
Well, that's a good question. Here's what I've done. I'm not sure if we talked about this in episode 9. Under our business license and our lease and our restaurant, all the different ways that you need to set up a business. What I have done is our Basil's Pizza brand has a small, offshoot, which I'm developing, and it's called Basil's Fresh Express.
Yes.
And as I said, I'm in creative mode, but I make a lot of creative output. So I offer that to my friends and family that live nearby that are also interested in eating better. And so it gives me an opportunity to make other people healthy, show them how to do it themselves,
yep.
and grow the brand. I'm in creative mode, so I'm not even looking for new customers. I have plenty of people that already know, like Linda, like you do. You see what I'm making.
Oh,
private message me all day long and say, put me on the list. Now here's the cool thing. Everything I do is $7, $6.34 plus tax. And people get a kick out of the answer to the question, why is everything $7? My husband gave me one key on the
on the register.
Yes. And I think it's brilliant because $7 is easy to remember. How much is this? How much is that? Everything's $7. But also because $7 for somebody who's just trying to put their toe in the water is not a huge investment. But if it was 14 or 17, $12.95 there, I'll just go get a $5 combo, right?
Right.
$7 is pretty approachable. So I think everything works out for a reason.
Well, I do too. And speaking of that, this is the same model that Seed Voyage has taken with their website. And that's a website for yard farmers who have, did not realize that 40 pounds of tomatoes were going to ripen all in the same day. So you could put your extra produce onto that website for sale. Everything is $5.
Oh, I like that.
$5 a basket. You choose the size of the basket and what goes in it. So this way, we really can geographically based on neighborhoods can become self-reliant on our food system because Joe's got the perfect place. He's growing the potatoes for the neighborhood. Harry's doing you know what I'm trying to say?
Uh-huh.
We can do this. We can do this. And look, how hard was it really for you? You didn't have really any experience in this, right, Diana?
No, zero.
But
I had a backyard little plot that I tried to grow things in. I think a few years ago, I remember growing kale. I didn't know really what it was, and by the time my mother-in-law showed up, she said, "This has all gone to seed. What are you doing?" And I said, "I don't even know what to do with that." And she said, and I remember her saying, "That is a shame, Diana. That is a shame. You let it all go to waste." And I think you got to have a learning curve. You got to be willing to step out there and make a mistake and learn from your elders and do better next time. Don't be afraid to make a mistake.
No, that's how we learn. I've never met a person that was, in fact, totally perfect, you know. And I do want everyone to be aware that Diana might be selling her chips so that she can mail them to us, right?
It's a beautiful thing because I really wanted to mail the collard wraps and the kale wrap. You know, they're not going to mail well because they're going to get shaken up and temperature controlled. The chips, however, they are lightweight, great for mailing, and they are shelf stable. I mean, literally had them on my dining room table just as a test to see how long they would still taste well, you know, appropriate. They were sitting on my dining room table in a container for 3 weeks. And I got tired of looking at them. So,
you ate them.
Yeah, I ate them up. And I was like, my always, we are your test dummies. Please, you know, bring them up here. And so I took them up there and I said, listen, they've been on my table for 3 weeks. So if you don't want to try them, and they tore it up. There's nothing wrong with these, you know. Wonderful.
And we're talking, Diana and Farmyard are in conversation to possibly put up a webpage for her so that all of our listeners will be able to get these chips in their belly.
Yes, and Linda and I were just talking about the epiphany. I have an epiphany daily, okay? So yesterday's epiphany was, you know what? I really want to reach the listeners here that maybe cannot get to me or get my product. My optimal thing is to teach them how to make it for themselves. Well, oh my gosh, that would be like my contribution to humanity. Okay, is if somebody was living better because of something I taught them how to do. So I have decided that I would create some ebooks and super cheap to purchase just to compensate me for my time. And I think Linda was saying we would put those on the site, which is excellent.
Yeah, I'm going to show her the ropes. I mean, after all, the last 3 years, I've gone to the University of Hard Knocks when it comes to learning, you know, the ins and outs of the internet. And I'm by far not an expert, but thank you for all the 11,000 people that are downloading our podcast every 30 days. That's really awesome.
Wonderful. Now, for these 11,000 people that are downloading, if their interest is piqued about what it is that I do and what does that look like and how can I get a look at that? I have Instagram is the best, Facebook and Instagram, and it's called Fit Food Y'all.
Well, what you're going to do, honey, is you're going to send me any links that you want me to put in the show notes so that people know how to get in touch with you and know how to follow you, because I know that this is not the end for you, baby doll.
Wonderful. Well, Fit Food Y'all on Instagram is a wall of pictures. And I'm serious. I'll go and look at my own page and go, now that is like so cool looking, you know, I don't know. It'll blow your mind for real. And it's just all going to help you be healthier and more vibrant.
And that's the whole point. I mean,
Absolutely.
the mission of Farmyard is to grow healthy people. Well, we have to grow healthy soil, to grow healthy food, to grow healthy people. The
Yes.
food has to be dense with nutrients. No one's talking about nutrient dense food. And
Absolutely.
that's what runs the engine.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what strengthens your immune system, and that's what keeps us from being sick, and that's what keeps us healthy so we can help the next person.
Most definitely.
People ask me all the time, why do you put so much effort into this? And I say, I'm in creative mode, okay? And I make and I create daily something new. I don't even know what's coming tomorrow. That's what's crazy about it. I have no idea. But
I call that, hey, honey, I call that downloads.
Yeah. So it's coming from somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's what I say. If I help you, I help me. Because if it's just for me, I'm probably, when I make collard wraps, you know how many collard greens are in a head of collards? Well, that's how many wraps I make at one time. I prep everything and I make 12 to 15 wraps at a time. So am I going to make 12 to 15 wraps or prep all that just for me? Probably not. And I know that for true because I've had those weeks in my world where I'm just showing property. I'm too busy. I'm at the restaurant. I'm at the farm. I don't really have time to do it. But if somebody says to me, I really feel lousy, I want to eat better, I want to try the wraps, I will make them the next day. I'm making them that very next day.
Yep.
And then I get 4 or 5, they get 4 or 5. If I help other people, I help me reach my goals.
Yep. And
so that's how I learn, is I am always looking for the next thing to support another person.
Well, really, in Buddhist tradition, I'm a practicing Buddhist, there's really only one of us.
Yeah.
Everybody you stand in front of is just a mirror. So just polish your mirror. And that's what we're talking. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about polishing our mirror and learning from each other how to do that.
Absolutely.
I have to thank you once again for coming on. This has really been delightful.
Oh, are we done?
Are we done? She says we're done. But I don't think we're done for good, honey bunch.
Well, good, because I look forward to seeing what's around the corner and talking to you about it. And stay tuned on my Facebook and Instagram for whatever comes up tomorrow.
Definitely. Most definitely. And at this time, I would like to thank our sponsors, thank our Patreon supporters. What would we do without you as a patron? Right?
Right.
It's like PBS. I tell people that, you have to support the arts. And yard farming is my chosen art form. And I can say that because I'm the matriarch of an Italian family of famous fine art dealers. And now they all have to listen to me.
All right.
All right, baby doll. You take care of yourself.
And thank you again.
Oh, no problem, honey. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see everyone on the flip side. And until then, go farm that yard.
This podcast is community supported. We thank everyone for tuning in, and a special thank you goes out to all our Patreon supporters. If you enjoy our content, please subscribe and share. You can help support us through Farmyard, all one word, on patreon.com.